Whoa, that was...
Oh my gosh.
Yes. I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
And this is... Anaal Nathrakh. Sounds like something from...
For Daniel.
Not Lord of the Rings. It's that show that ended horribly. Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So this should be interesting. For all the new folks, we all Christians. And from time to time, our friends send us black metal or heavy, black metal, whatever genre you want. And then we look at it. So I say
we have no choice.
We have no choice. We say a quick prayer and then we jump into it.
Right.
If you, dear listener, would like your song reviewed, like the big homie Daniel, it's very simple. All you got to do is 125 gets you into PayPal, and then you get to request a song by yourself.
The links are in the description of this video for our PayPal or Patreon. You can pick either one of the options for that.
You do that 3 times, you get down to the $75 rate. Or...
all perpetuity!
All perpetuity!
Or until we stop doing the channel.
My favorite, though, is a community option. $1 at the gate gets you in. You team up with your partners on Patreon, and that helps determine what song we do. Mm-hmm. Having said that, let's do it. Anaal Nathrakh-Endarkenment.
Alright, this might be a tricky one to hear. Ready?
Whoa. Full screen that shit.
It's true. Yo! Saw that?
Shout out to the homies. very, 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 very good song. Holy freaking moly. Oh my God, I love this song so much.
Yeah, it is. This quote at the end is very interesting. Who do you believe when you can't believe anyone? I say, believe the one who is saying what you want to hear, and then pray they're telling the truth. I thought I was going to give a good bit of advice, and then I read it. Wait a minute.
Is that Orwell? Or Owens?
Dr. Robert Owens.
Oh my God, this was such a good song.
Yeah.
Heavy, melodic,
Daniel, good pick.
Riffs are original.
Yeah.
God, man, it was hell, man. I can't. I was going into this like, oh, this is a black metal band.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I think you could say that these guys are probably extreme metal or or just regular death metal, whatever. But, wow.
His voice was.
I wasn't expecting the melodic chorus at all. You know what I mean? I thought it was just gonna be straight, man. And the imagery in the video, I'm pretty sure, inshallah, the video won't get blocked. Inshallah.
Yeah, it was a mix of that book. What was the name of that?
Animal Farm.
Yeah.
And the Bible.
And Trump.
Animal Farm, MAGA, and the Bible.
Yep.
So,
right.
If you see right here in the chorus, it says a gathering charge into endarkment. So here's what happens. Jesus is going around, doing his thing, preaching, being savior of the world, all that jazz. And he gets to a place called the Gadarenes, and then there's a guy who is possessed by demons. And Jesus goes to the guy, and like people couldn't deal with this guy because he was possessed by
a bunch of them, legion of them, I guess.
Demons.
Yeah.
It said they try to tie him up, and then he would just
he wouldn't wear clothes. He'd just like run around. He'd hang around in the
cut himself.
Yeah, he was running around in the cemetery,
graves, the tombstones,
just cutting himself. Yeah.
Yeah, and like it says, nobody in the town could handle the dude. They tie him up. He'd break through like sinners and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So then Jesus shows up, right?
Didn't it say he would cry?
Yeah, he'd wail in the night and all this stuff.
Yeah, I always thought that was sad.
Yeah, well, it's also terrifying.
Well, yeah, the sound of it.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, especially because the way that their homes were structured back then.
Yeah, and you can't touch this dude. He was
right. What are you going to do if he comes to your house?
Supernatural power.
Yeah.
So Jesus shows up, and the demon immediately recognizes in the spirit that it's Jesus. So the demon, they say, "What do we have to do with you, Jesus, son of the Most High?
Have you come to torture us before our time?"
Right. And then Jesus basically said, "Nah, man, but you got to get out of the homie. Get out of him. Stop a prayer." And first Jesus said, "What's your name?" And I guess the head demon responded by saying, "My name is Legion, for we are many."
Yeah, creepy.
Which that probably spawned a lot of black metal, death metal bands named Legion of whatever.
Oh, I'm sure.
But he was actually referring to a Roman battle array, like a legion, and which tells us a lot about demons. But that's a separate topic. But Jesus says, "Okay, get out."
Yep.
They said, "Well, let us go into these pigs." So Jesus goes, "So, okay, fine, go to the pigs." So the demons all rush out of the man.
I never understand why Jesus did that.
They rush out of the man and into these pigs, and then the demons take the pigs over a cliff and kill them all. So if you look at the video, there's a clip where all these, pigs are going over the mountain because they're possessed by these multitude of demons. So when it says a Gadarene march, right? A Gadarene charge into endarkment. It's such a powerful, powerful, powerful line because he's basically saying that the society has been infected with some sort of demonic influence that then plunges them into self-destruction. And to some degree, when you look at people voting against their own interests and things like that, where it's like, huh?
Yeah.
You had a guy who was going to give you Medicare for all and you chose Biden? Huh? Like...
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, this can only be explained supernaturally. People consistently voting against their own interests or whatever, and it's probably talking about the media as well. As one, we marched alone. Think about that line. As one, we marched alone. that means that, everybody...
Even though they were in a group, they were still separated.
Right. Into nauseating neglect, like all good swine, we deserve our feed, which is true. Like, because you have other options. We've had other options on the Republican and the Democratic side.
It's just mind-boggling.
And instead of, doing our due diligence and being purposeful about our vote and analyzing these people, we just went along with the party line, or we just gave into fear, because a lot of people voted for Biden during the Democratic primaries because they were convinced that Bernie couldn't beat Trump.
Yep.
So it's such a good line, a gathering charge into endarkment. The second theme of the song seems to be like, why ask questions now? We know all we need to know, which is nothing.
We did.
Fuck you if you think I'm wrong. The answers I have, all the answers that I need. Which really captures the zeitgeist currently, because everybody's got this, and again, it's postmodern era, but everybody's got this strange notion that everybody's opinions are valuable and should be respected.
Or that they know everything. It's funny because I don't know if it has anything to do with YouTube or if it has... I really don't know what it has to do with, but it seems like everybody wants to be an expert at everything.
Right.
And there's times where I'll see you in conversations with people. Look, I've never said that I was an avid reader or that I was interested in a bunch of historical or political stuff, but you like that stuff. It's fun for you. And so you have like all of this information inside of your head, and you get in conversations with people, and I'll see at the beginning of the conversation, people look like they know what they're talking about. I'm like, well, this is going to be an interesting conversation between you and the other person, because I'm like, somebody's going to give you a little bit of a run for your money, like here's some different ideas. And then as the people start talking, I'm like, what the fuck? These people don't know anything. Like, not they don't know anything, but like, they don't know about the topic that they're talking about. Or you'll ask them, like, what they've read on particular topics, and they will have not read the books. Look, I just say, I'm not bragging that I know the books. I don't know them because I haven't read them. But why would people... But it seems like there's lots of people doing that. Like, everybody just wants to be a bunch of experts instead of being like, I don't really know.
It's a Dunning-Kruger thing, right? Where
I don't know what that is.
Basically,
I haven't read it.
People with the least amount of skill on a given topic have the most confidence in that topic. But conversely, people that do have the skill and the training... Their self-perception is that they don't know as much. Mm-hmm. It's and that is something that...
Find the least knowledgeable person when you really want to know what's going on.
Well, obviously it has ramifications, right? Like on the right, you had this whole COVID is a hoax thing, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And we're at 400K now of dead Americans.
Your brothers.
Yeah. Shout out to the homie. He's going to pull through, inshallah.
That's fun.
But it happened during COVID, where you had these people that felt like they knew more than the experts.
Yeah.
It was just mind-boggling to me. It was absolutely mind-boggling to me. Like, here's Joe from whatever, Idaho or whatever, but he knows more than the medical professions and scientists who've literally dedicated their entire lives. And that's why, like, people ask me about evolution or whatever. I've always been the same. I said, I don't know. I don't know really much about that, aside from what I learned in school. And, I've got Alec on speed dial. So whenever, somebody says something ridiculous about, usually it's Christians. Well, if evolution's real, wow, they're still monkeys.
Yeah, right.
I'm like...
I thought that was brilliant. Oh, yeah! What about it?
Anytime it's something like that obvious, I'm like, did you really think that the progenitors of this idea did not consider that argument? Like, it's like I had an atheist buddy. Shout out to my atheist friends. He's like, so Jesus was like calling out to himself on the cross? Almost want to have an Orion button. And you can tell, okay, the guy has no understanding of the Trinity at all.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
And if you were to go, that's modalism, Patrick, they're going to go, you know what I'm saying? And people are so, like, sensitive. Like, it says, fuck you if you think I'm wrong. Like, people are allowed to one of the big examples, so I did one for the right, which is COVID, The other one is the abortion conversation.
Yep.
People are like, oh, it's just a clump of cells, and if they abort after it's a clump of cells, they're doing it because a woman's life is in danger. It's a complete lie.
It's a lie.
It's a complete lie. And then I show them the Guttmacher Institute, where it talks about, the vast majority of late-term abortions are not even health-related, period. Even psychologically health-related. That's not why these people are getting late-term abortion. So I know they haven't looked at, the science behind the topic, or they'll say it's a fetus and not a baby. That's a clear one, and it's like, fetus is a baby. It's literally an unborn human being post 8 weeks gestation. That's what a fetus is. That's like
embarrassing.
Medical journals, whatever. Like, but they really truly believe that because they've been successfully propagandized by Planned Parenthood and the rest of them, they truly believe that.
Don't come at us saying we're brainwashed because we're Christians.
Right. That fetus is some sort of different species of human being that's not the same. A baby, you cannot kill a baby, but a fetus, go for it. So I ask people, I'm like, if it could be demonstrated that a fetus is actually a baby, will you change your position? No. Okay. I'll let it. But yeah, I do think there's that thing happening right now where people really truly believe that they're experts in a topic. And, I was like, I was talking to Dorian yesterday because he called his sister a liberal. And I said, your sister's a liberal? I said, how many leftist friends do you actually have? He's like, none. I'm like, then you don't know shit, bro. Like, what do you mean? Like, you don't know these people. Same thing. Like, I've got anarchist friends, right? So if I run into a situation where I'm like, oh, that'd be hard for anarchy, I'm going to text Zonia Bien fan, and they're going to give me a very intelligent response because they've been in that world.
Right.
But there's a lot of people now, man, where they really, really believe that they know shit. And the other thing is they don't want to hear it. They don't want to get corrected. They don't want... They just want to keep going with their bullshit. It's unbelievable. It's literally
so tiring to me. I don't even know how you can take the time with people like that. Because already, like, that's a trait of kids. Like, where they think that they know everything.
Yeah, well, teenage kids,
Yeah, well, ours started early. But they know everything, they know everything. And you heaven forbid, you can't teach them anything. And then all of a sudden, like, I think it's like your 20s, you're like, like there's that thing that says when you're a teenager, you're like, my parents don't know anything.
Right.
Then when you're in 20s, you're like, they might know something. In the 30s, you're like, I really want to hear what they have to say. And then by your 40s, you're like, they're not. I think the little saying made us that way. They weren't with you at your 40s. You're like, what would they have said,
Right. Right. And I'm not saying that we have to slavishly agree with everything the scientists tell us about a given topic.
No.
But if you disagree, you better have a very, very, very compelling reason.
Yeah.
As to why.
Yeah.
But that's not what's happening on, the left or the... It's a problem for both groups. Like, it's a lot of it is, if you want something to be true, and then somebody on social media echoes that lie... then there is a certain degree of comfort in it, which is kind of like the whole QAnon situation. I've been extremely fascinated by it because on the one hand, I'm reading a lot of these articles where a lot of these QAnon people were like, we were lied to, blah, blah, blah. They're in an utter despair. I'm certain there's a couple QAnon people that probably have taken their lives or whatever over this bullshit. But you have people, like, truly believing that they have contacts in the NSA. It's like, people have no idea. Like, try to get CIA people to work with NSA people. Like, that was one of the reasons he stood up the Department of Homeland Security, was he's trying to come, like, but it's like, these people truly believe that they have insider information and it's been going on the internet and everybody can access it. It's like, but there's like this secret cabal of people. It's like, if you can get to the website, that means they can get to the website. and
so can everybody else.
Why is that? Why are these sites still up? It's just so it's banana. And then it's all this confirmation bias. Parler gets taken down. They go, aha! And
did it get put back up?
Nah. It went up for a second and went back down. Okay. But like the Q thing is like the real big thing. Like people not wanting to hear the obvious truth, not wanting to face obvious facts, and it's so fascinating to me to sit back and watch. I'm like, I was like, look what happened to Edward Snowden when he released unauthorized information. Right. Look at Julian Assange. The man was in terrorized for close to a damn near.
Somehow you in your sloppy living room knows everything.
Yeah, but but on top of that, you've got an NSA contact and he's fine. He's just chilling. What? Does that make sense to you? Like, what? And he's telling you all this, and this QAnon shit apparently has been going on for like 3 or 4 years. It's like FBI, none of those guys, nobody knew, but you know, and it's just like, and then it's like, whoa, I'm talking to an expert, you know, like, because this Q person's, you know, some insider in the government, so he's an expert, so they're like, oh no, we got it covered. It's like, yeah, but all that shit is false, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all false. And so that's been a big one, but it can be dangerous though. Like you see this with, you know, COVID or abortion. Like people are dying, human beings are dying, right? And we're playing games with facts. Like that's just unbelievable to me. It's unbelievable. I saw somebody. He was like, "Ha ha." Biden's elected, so all the COVID's gonna go away, right? Yeah, ha. He was making this joke, and I posted under. I'm like, well, you know, tell that to the 400,000 Americans that are currently dead. Of course, everybody was like, oh yeah, great, go for it, man. And it's like he goes, well, no, I understand that I've lost a couple people too to COVID, but you're mocking it as if it's not real. Even though you yourself have lost 2 people. And again, it's that like...
That's so bizarre.
I refuse to... And, you know, there was some like
weird.
Orwellian sort of... Because, you know, Orwell's talking about doublespeak and all this. And the media functioned to like propagandize people, not so much like to believe a lie, but to change their entire presupposition of the world to be what they wanted it to be. And so they inverted everything and whatever. And it's like... Now here we are, and you are...
Who did that? What group of it? What did you say?
Orwell. It's this book called 1984. It's an iconic book. And it's basically... You ever heard the term Big Brother's watching you and all that? Like, so that's 1984. That's where all that came from. It's like this dystopian future.
Oh, there's a movie about it.
Yeah. It's
more up my alley.
Yeah. So it's like this dystopian future where the government is controlling everything and you get propagandized by the media. There's all this doublespeak. And there you go. Like, so there was a lot of that in the video. And to your point, Animal Farm, in the book Animal Farm, which is a parable about communism, basically, the pig was the leader. Yeah. He was in the barn or whatever, and he issued a revolt against the owners of the farm. And, you know, there was this big rallying cry, all animals are equal. Yeah. Some are just more equal than others. So you just killed my punchline. So, you know, the animals, like, they shoo the humans out. Now the pig is, like, living large. And then he's up in the balcony of the thing. And then the horse shows up. I think it's the horse. Basically, the horse was, like, this loyal soldier to the pig. Yeah. And then, basically, by the end of the story, he dies. And they just make him a bunch of glue. You turn him into glue is basically it. Because it's how communists just whatever. So he's up there. And the horse is like, what's going on? I thought we were all equal, whatever. And so the pig is like, yeah, I got to think about that. It's a good argument. So the next day, a horse goes up, and then there's a sign that says, all animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others.
I remember thinking when I was reading that book.
Done. What a brilliant answer.
People are not, like, the animals were not figuring it out. You know what I mean? Like... As the pigs were slowly making their way and then standing upright 100%. And now wearing pants. And
100%.
I was like, well, how come nobody's realizing this?
100%.
What's happening?
100. That pig played all those people out, bro.
Honestly, though.
All those people got played out by the pig. Shout out to the pig. Shout out to the homie.
When we did literature growing up, there was not like a... Whether I was in private school or homeschool, there wasn't like a deep discussion after the book. It was about a book report. Like, the whole reason you read the book was to write a book report so they could check your grammar. Yeah, it wasn't about, like, what's the deeper meaning of the book and what's the, you know,
Yeah. We had fun. That was AP English. We just read and debate the whole time.
I think I would have liked that class, though.
The noble search over, no answers to find. We retreat to dust, ignoble sublime, nothing to reach for the death of the mind. I think the noble pursuit is that's the scientific community, right? Where you're
yeah, probably.
the noble pursuit of truth or whatever. Which, of course, a lot of
the noble search over.
The proverb says, "It is the glory of God to conceal a matter, and the glory of kings to search it out." Mm-hmm. So, God has hidden, He's concealed in nature the various engines and things like that run nature, and here we are, Johnny come lately, and now we're starting to figure some of this shit out. It's like, oh, that's a molecule, that's this, that's that, it's mitochondria, blah, blah, blah. But now we've gotten into this completely anti-intellectual situation where they're like, is this the same, these are the same experts that blah, blah, blah. So like if a scientist makes a mistake or the scientific community makes a mistake about something, then all of science is completely ridiculous. It's like, come on, guys. Like, really? Like, scientists are doing God's work. It's unearthing what God has concealed in the natural
Wait, which
universe.
group of people will do that? Like, just write off science like that?
Oh, I mean, you got the anti-vaxxer people, you got far-right people, you got people who are denying the hoax, denying COVID, saying it was a hoax, all this crazy shit.
Flip that.
All these people, and it's religious people. It's like, oh, 6 feet is ridiculous, blah, blah, blah. It's like, during the intertestamental period, if you had leprosy, not only did you have to cover your mouth and say unclean, but you also had to step...
Other side of the road.
You had 6 feet.
It literally says
6 feet, yes.
No, really?
Yes.
What?
So it's like, all these religious people are like, oh, we have God, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I mean, this is something like Christians should have been all over. Like, yes, let's wear a mask and be 6 feet and let's be good citizens. And Christians, they just couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. It's unbelievable.
I need to see this. Weird.
What did you give the song?
I thought it was really good. I'm gonna go with a 10.
Did I just give it? I give it with a 10.5.
10.3 or something like that.
10.5 for this one as well. This is my favorite song of 2021 right now. Really, really good song. It's my favorite song of 2021.
Good for you.
Why?
This is your favorite. Good for you. I mean, what do you want me to say?
All right, what do you give it?
I already gave it a score.
What was it?
I gave it a 10. I just want to find that verse, so I'm just trying to get you to end so I can.
I didn't say it was a verse. I said it was during the intertestamental period.
Oh. Okay, well, I didn't believe you. That's why I wanted to see it.
Well, you didn't listen.
I wasn't going to believe the so-called experts.
Like you always do. All right, there you go out there listening to Vin out.
Sori out.
Gone.
Hey villagers, this is Archero and I'm inviting you to the Village March Madness Tournament. We're doing this as a fundraiser and to get together as a community and have a little bit of fun. If you're not familiar with March Madness, it is a 64-team college basketball tournament. The teams all play in single elimination round tournament style. Final winner is going to be the national champion. There's going to be a page set up on the ESPN website where you can make your guesses who's going to win each game. And we'll have a private group set up just for our village to compete against each other and see who predicted the winners best. To participate, it only costs $1. And all of that is going to go to help other villagers who are in need right now. This is all going to be happening in mid-March. More details are coming very soon about the dates, prizes, and how to join. I'll see you guys there. Keep it metal.